back to the next episode of Waifu Wars. I am the eunuch who has a whole ass family, Jubidu.
And I am waiting to see Fern's perfect clone, Sobroni.
Welcome back to another episode of Waifu Wars podcast, where we talk about all things anime, the good, the bad, and the weeb, but not your waifu, because she is trash. How you doing, Oni?
I'm doing good. How are you doing, Drew?
I am also pretty good. Today's my sister's birthday, so happy birthday, Dana. Hearts and all that stuff. Apparently she's under the weather, so feel better. So yeah. No, chill weekend, chill week, can't complain too much. So yeah. That being said, let's just hop right into it with our new segment this week. I forgot how this podcast works. It's called This Week in Anime. I think I'm gonna go first just to get my shit out of the way. Wanted to do something nice and fast because we have a lot of stuff to talk about. Quantum News Network, Nier Automata is finally coming back. The website for the anime revealed on Saturday that the second core will air this year.
I thought it already aired.
No.
Yeah, didn't they come back after like months of hiatus? And is it getting like a second season or
something? No.
I swear it already aired.
Wait, hold on. The first core, the staff delayed episode 4 from that year from 28th of February. The staff then delayed episodes 9 and beyond in March 2023. Episodes 9 through 12 aired all at once on July 23rd. Oh, okay, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're doing a part 2, bitch. So
that show has been ruined by the
COVID.
Horrible schedule. Yeah,
just COVID. Damn. Did we even finish watching the first?
No, it was good too.
It was good. I'd be down to cover it, of course.
Wow, next season's pretty crazy.
Well, we don't know when. It said this year, so we don't know if it's gonna be next season. It's probably. I'd be surprised. I'd be surprised if it was next season, because they would just say next season instead of this year. So it's probably gonna be summer or fall.
Probably.
All right. What is your news, Ani?
On my side of things, the Demon Slayer Hashira Trading Arc first episode screening earns 5.5 million on opening day in the US. I didn't even know it was out in the US, but cool. The anime made an opening weekend box office of 5.5 million, which is about on par with what it made during the last screening for the third season. And it's going to estimated total box office of 10.8 million when you factor in this upcoming weekend. So, Demon Slayer hype is still going strong, it seems. People literally paying to go see a trading arc.
Yeah, which is insane to me, but work. Oh, and it'll premiere in the spring apparently, so we're gonna watch it either way. Yay!
Yay! Yes, we will watch it as we watch every episode or every season of Demon Slayer, one of the better shonens out there.
For sure.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, today, especially, I thought it's appropriate because we're gonna be down an episode. We're not gonna be doing solo ranking because it is just a recap episode. Bleh. Instead, well, before we start the weekly reviews, I'm going to do a filler arc, and I'm going to actually talk about The Last Airbender, the live action.
I actually also saw all of it, so I can join you.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm so well. I didn't watch all of it
Oh
because
wow! So you didn't even watch all of it, huh?
yeah, no, because I feel like I feel like if I watched all of it, I feel like my feelings would stay the same. I strongly doubt that they would get me to change my mind. Um, I was just concerned that you haven't seen any of it, but apparently you watch more than me, so
Yep.
don't have to worry about that. When I say spoilers,
It's
right. You understand where I'm coming from? Like, is
it's
this
not. Listen, guys, if
really?
you haven't seen it, I guess light spoiler warning, but not
Yeah,
really because it literally is just the Avatar, which you.
it it's like it is, but
There's some minor changes, but the changes are like just mostly still Avatar. Like it's a lot of just
okay,
moving parts around from
okay.
other seasons
So
and stuff.
let's start with the good stuff. Let's start with what I liked.
I think we're gonna have vastly different opinions
I
on this.
think
So
we
I
are.
actually
Just from
love
what you said, I know we are.
it.
So let's start with things that I liked. I I basically like the bending. I think they did a pretty good job on the bending. A lot of people talked about how, oh, the water bending look da da da. I've accepted that water bending is just not gonna, like, we don't have the technology to make it look as fluid as the series but it looked good.
Actually,
It
I'll
wasn't,
fight you on that because the waterbending looks better
well,
in the
I didn't,
last two episodes when they actually get to the
exactly. So
water fight.
I haven't seen that. So
Yeah, they
I'm only
like
on
saved their budget for
episode,
that.
I think I'm halfway through episode 5.
Dang, 6 was the best episode too.
Um,
Actually, no, 4 was probably the best episode, but 6 was really good.
yeah, so it was, but no, the bending was pretty good. Like, yes, I know they're gonna take some liberties, but you can't expect a 1-to-1 translation.
I think it's as good as it's gonna get. Like
Exactly, yeah.
the fight choreography and the CG was really nice.
Yes, very well done. It is this show in my mind is a definition of great gowns, beautiful gowns, and um, for those who don't get that reference, because it is very somewhat gay coded. That's referring to I don't know, someone interviewing Aretha Franklin and he's telling and asking her about all these up and coming artists, and she just says, "Oh, great gowns, beautiful gowns." It says nothing about their singing abilities, which which is why I kind of feel. Oh wait, no. Before we even get there, before we start the criticizing, casting, amazing casting.
Yes, I love
Great
pretty much
casting.
almost everyone except 1 or 2 people.
I was like, I mean, okay, yeah, there's 1 or 2 people, like, I don't know why they made Zhao look kind of like frumpy and a little bit older. Like, Zhao, like, why does Zhao look like he's out of shape? Zhao look like he's out of shape for some reason. That, some weird choices here and there, but for the most part, the casting was, like, super solid. I remember me being kind of upset that Sokka wasn't as dark skinned as in the show, but then he opened his mouth and I was just like, okay, I get it. I get
Sokka
it.
literally is probably my favorite.
I get it. I was like, I get it. I get it. I get
He
it.
nailed Sokka.
Yeah. Sokka was really good. The Jet Boomy, Zuko. I was like, oh my. I was like, I felt
he
so.
literally sounded like Zuko from the series. Like, did they get the same?
I felt so weird because I'm just like, wait a minute, Zuko wasn't supposed to be hot. This Zuko was really kind of hot. Whoa, I was super conflicted about
So you had
that.
the opposite effect for me when I was like watching.
No, he was super hot. Hello, that like, what a jawline. What a jawline on that man's face.
I feel like they murdered Azula though. I'm not liking this Azula. She looks too childish. She looks like an 8-year-old.
It looks like someone used like age down ray on her and kind of shrunk a little bit, but I guess they're trying to stick to like get the age right in the sense that apparently she's only 14 according to like the comics.
I guess they also said they wanted to, like, if they do like subsequent seasons, they want her to kind of like grow into it.
Exactly,
You know,
exactly. Dude,
by
by
the
the
time
end, yeah,
by the end of it, she's like looking more mature or whatever.
exactly. Yo, fucking, the fucking Mai with them chubby ass cheeks sends me every time. Like, why Mai has a skinny face? Why is your face like you don't look kind of like menacing or whatever? Like you look
Yeah, none of them
adorable.
looked nice.
You
They
look
all look like
adorable. Like I wanna pinch your cheeks.
I called them the Fire Nation Rugrats. They were just
Aww,
Rugrats.
but yeah, but Tylee was
Kylie, Mai,
adorable.
and yeah.
I agree. I'm down for like the Tylee casting. That was cute. Ozai, yeah, can't
Oh,
complain.
Ozai was good.
Iroh, oh,
Perfect.
perfect. And I liked and shout out to the actor that played him because I love him from ah what show was he in? I feel like he's been in multiple shows lately, but Kim's Convenience. It's a comedy on Netflix, and he was so funny in that show. So um, it's so crazy to just hear him because in Kim's Convenience, he's like a very strict, old fashioned Korean like dad, not old man with like a very hard accent. So then and then he's just like, I'm speaking like I'm Iroh. I'm like, oh, the accent's gone. I guess that's what acting means.
Yeah.
Uh, so yeah, that was excuse me. That was pretty good. The casting was good. I also liked how they kind of like mushed all the episodes. For the most part, they did it in ways that I'm just like, this isn't bad. This isn't this isn't terrible. Like it's like
Especially what
okay,
they tried to do with episode 3, and they like mashed like 3 different episodes together.
yeah. I'm like this is it's kind of giving me whiplash, but it's considering you're trying to shove 24 episodes into 8. I'm not mad at this. This is relatively creative. Now let's get to
Negatives.
yeah, negatives. I feel like, and it's like after seeing getting this far, I understand why the creators walked out. I get it. I feel like the changes that they decided to make to the characters kind of literally cut all the things that made these characters special, and they turned, and in turn they turned Avatar into a great show into just a good show. Like I don't dislike it. Like if I had children, I'd be like, watch this show, and then we'll watch the original. So you'll be like, oh my god, these characters are way better and fleshed out, and I'd be like, yeah, yeah, like all the changes they made were very like this is very Hollywood writing. Nothing inventive or creative. Like, oh my god, Katara suffers with her trauma. Like, I've seen this a million times. Oh my god.
I mean that is literally what happened in Avatar.
Not in the way they framed.
But
Not
it's
not
like,
to the not to this point. No, because they cut different things out. All season 1 was Katara struggling with her water bending, and this one she's this bitch can like take on firebenders in episode 4, which is crazy. Cause she literally
her ass kicked by
she
like, everyone by Zuko.
She high key struggled. She high key struggled to be a waterbender, literally up until the water age, the water age, until they got to the water tribe. That was literally her whole shtick. Instead, they were just like, "No, you have to deal. We're changing it to your trauma from your mother dying." Which, by the way, that's not like I've seen this plotline play out in other series. Like that's what I'm saying. It's not original. Like they take the originality out of it.
That's what happened in Avatar. It just happens later. Like it's a book 3 thing where she has to go through that whole trauma of the chasing after the firebender who killed her mother.
Does she do it in season 1? Does she chase after the
No,
person?
it's like it's after Zuko joins them. It's like in season 3 or
Yeah,
4.
no. I'm asking. Did they do it in season in in the live action? Is she
Oh
chasing
no,
after
they don't
the?
do that. No.
I have to ask because they brought motherfuckers from season 2 into
Yeah,
the
no,
season 1,
they
which
do
was
that a lot.
and which is why another thing I don't care for, like why like
I get
it's
it
no
because they have to like.
I
So
don't.
here's the thing with the cartoon, they have like all the time in the world to like base because it's a weekly airing cartoon. So it's like
Why
we can
was
have
the
all the time in
owl
the.
from the library in the spirit world? There's no reason. There's literally no reason for that to
I
happen.
mean, it doesn't really matter.
There's literally no
the owl's just
reason.
there so that they can probably reference him later. Be like, oh, that's the owl from the first season.
No, you don't need that. You can just introduce. You can just introduce it. Like you see what I mean? My
But
problem
like
with
that
this is
in my issues that doesn't detract anything either. It's just all right. The owls. Like if you didn't know the owl's supposed to be in the third season or whatever, it doesn't really matter.
it's season 2, but yeah.
Season 2. Like I get it, but like so the cartoon. I think it's an unfair standard because the cartoon literally can have all the time in the world to build and like do whatever it wants with all the characters. You can't really do that in a mini series with 8 episodes. Like they can't have a whole episode where it's just like Katara learning how to waterbend. That would not.
I'm not. I don't. They don't have to
Or like
have
have
all
like
of that.
a whole season just being her. Like she has to actually have a character arc in this season. So they have to. Like,
But it can literally be about her waterman. Like that she has the character. They can put that in
that's
8
not really a
episodes.
character arc. That's just like her learning to waterbend. It works in the cartoon because it's like other stuff going on, but it's like it would make Katara like if they did that, Katara would be the most boring flight character on the cast, and she barely edges out.
A plot twist. She still is the most. Like, this
Yeah,
made her. This made her more boring. This made her more boring because she's doing the. She's doing a very stereotypical. When my mom died,
as
and I deal with
opposed
the
to just
trauma.
being. But like, listen, you're trying to say, well, what she should have done is sit in the background, not fight anyone, and just.
No, her. First of all, part of her thing of learning waterbending was the fact that she was jealous of Avatar, and it made her do stupid things as a result.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think that they have the time to like stretch out.
If they have time to make up a whole new plot where she's traumatized by her mom's death, they have time to.
That's not a whole new plot. That's literally the plot from.
Girl, that was like that. Girl, they
in book 3.
That was an episode, not a whole arc.
That was she always dealt with trauma for her mom dying.
Well, no, she always brings it up. Yes, she always brings it up, but it never blocked her water bending. That they just made up.
Yeah, that's
completely made up.
Like tie in the whole thing with her mom and giving her, because I get it. In the cartoon, her motivation was like trying to, like outduel Aang and like prove herself as a bender and all that stuff.
Which I feel like they could have. Which I feel like they could have done perfectly fine.
I don't think not in an interesting way.
They didn't do it. Well, this way isn't interesting, so I guess they failed all around.
I think it's fair enough. It's
not really.
It's not bad. It's not bad. It's just run of the mill. It's like
exactly. Like now, like I said, it became. The story was great, and now it's just good because.
Right. So I think you're doing the thing that other people are doing, which is being overly harsh on the storytelling on the show. Like there are certain constraints it has to work within. Like it's a really tough challenge to turn like a 24 episode cartoon into 8
episodes. And some ways they did it, I was
not gonna translate well.
Like listen, in the same way I'm not complaining that they shoved the episode with Jet, the episode with the people who by the way were not Omashu and Omashu in literally the same episode. I'm okay with that because I get that. You can do shit like that and also keep true to like the plot and the development of the characters. And
I'm glad that she got development because alternative was she gets no development and just is waterbending in the background. That's what Katara was doing in season 1 for the most part. It was just like season 1 was a really like slow burn of a season. Like it's a reason why it's nobody's favorite season. It's a really slow, just kind of world building, adventure-y season where not much substance is happening until the very end with the whole.
I don't know. I thought it was well built.
I think people need to go back and watch season 1 of Avatar. If you were to just watch season 1 of Avatar, it's not the it needs the other seasons to really get all the characters, because all the characters' development is stretched across 3 seasons.
Well, duh.
Like Zuko's arc is
well, duh. Like,
yes,
okay,
but that's not going to work in a show like this, because it's a mini series. You have to have a full arc. It's basically like,
wait, is this just a one shot? We're not getting season 2 or 3.
They don't know. Season 2 and 3 weren't confirmed yet.
Okay, well, if they're doing this,
they have to play it as like, we have to make a compelling story if this is a one-off. Which is why my major concern is what they're going to do for seasons 2 and 3, because they pushed up so much content to this season. That's my major concern.
I will say, and this is going back to a positive, I did like that they included like Azula in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
That I did like. Like, I'm fine with choices that, I don't know, in my mind make sense or actually add to the show, not just change it to, I don't know, like I said, Katara's story, making her story a very generic, when my trauma tied with my power, like, it just, like I said, it just made it, okay. Like, okay. I've seen this a million times before, oh sure. It's not bad, but I just prefer her original character. So then there's Sokka, which ties into Katara. Funny enough, the whole like herder. I'm kind of a sexist dodo brain, which then of course kind of cheapens the whole thing with Suki, which yes, like, you know, it's a one shot, and it was supposed to be a one shot, blah blah blah.
I actually like the Suki thing. I like that they made Suki the awkward, fun one.
Yeah,
I think they made Suki cuter, because honestly, in the original series, I didn't care about Suki at all. In this one, I actually think Suki.
I'm not mad at her character. It's just like, once again, taking out his. I'm just like, yes, I understand your perspective. They're trying to do a one shot, but if you do the one shot and it gets picked up for a second season or third season, it's for the rest of the series. You're already you're shooting all the character developments, and then you got to make some shit up as you go, which I don't think has ever worked out well in any adaptation ever. Well, I don't know why we had to take out him being a sexist when it ties into Katara's waterbending. It ties into the whole thing with Suki. Now that's gone. Yes, now we have to kind of fill in something with Katara, because that was a part of her development. Her fighting against the fact, proving to not only to the other waterbenders, but also to Sokka that she's like capable of fighting.
She does do that. It just happens in episode 7 and 8 of this season. But
then why not keep it with him? Then I'm confused.
I don't really care. I was upset that they took out the sexist thing, but as long as what they replaced it with works, and I think it works in Sokka's sense. It doesn't work in Katara's sense, but it works for Sokka. I think Katara was the biggest victim of all the change, honestly. Everyone else.
I agree, which is why I'm pissed. I mean, it's going. I feel. I think it'll be fine. Moving on, like, in terms of, I think he deals with the whole him being dumb sexist bit. Like, I think most of it is hammered out by like season 1. I think.
Yeah. But season 2 and 3 is more of him just like trying to be a leader.
Excuse me. Yeah,
so I think Sokka will be fine. I think Aang will be fine.
Yeah, she'll be fine. I mean, I think she'll be fine now. She'll be fine now. Now she's. Well, I don't know. I don't know how much they're gonna fuck. God knows. I don't know how much they're gonna fuck up Toph. Like,
no, I hope they don't fuck up Toph. Toph is not a hard character to translate into.
But her and Toph had like a lot of static. Like, that was a lot of what happened in season 2.
I think what they do though is create a lot of original stuff.
And also another thing why they kill Katara's character, because Katara was also very, and they kind of flip. Once again, see, Katara's like a wine that you have to sip. Like she gets better with each season because she's very nuanced. Because also, she was also kind of was like the mother-ish character of the four, to the point where they made it out, and like they eventually like fight over that. But in season one, they made like Sokka's like, oh yeah, you're just my dumb kid sister, like, and I'm just like, what? No, this is not who she is. So they just like, yeah, completely just kind of scrapped her character from season one. I don't know what's gonna be.
Well, no, he treated her like a dumb kid sister in season one too, but just for sexist reasons as opposed to sibling reasons.
Right, but in the live action, she kind of feels more like one. Like she, like, compared to season one. Season one, she kind of felt much more confident.
Yeah.
Despite which is funny because she wasn't as good of a waterbender as she wasn't in live action. So
they definitely pushed a lot of her development into episode 7 and 8, but she basically ends up being a because it's funny because my complaint of the opposite is that they made her too good. Like, because by episode 7 and 8,
I mean, I would say that's actually kind of true to the source material. She doesn't. She by the last two episodes, she in the original, she's just busted as hell. And even can 1v1 Zuko.
But this is where I agree with you, because in the original they show her like training a lot and like gradually getting better. And this one is just like, okay, I'm a master now.
Listen, it was just like these random bullshit things like, oh, you have to deal with the trauma of my mother. Okay, I did that. Thanks, Jet. Now,
being a waterbending master is super easy.
First, I gagged when she did the little ice disc trick, which she definitely does like way later in the original. I think she does it in the, like, when she fights. Well, her grandfather? Question mark. Oh no, not her grandfather, but you know that her waterbending teacher.
Yeah, she does against him too in the show.
Yeah, so I was just like, oh, okay, so they're just changing her completely. Cool. They're pushing Sokka. They're also making Sokka like kind of engineering, which I'm not totally against, because his whole thing was like, you know, Sokka is eventually just like known for his brains, so I'm just like, okay, not so much for engineering, more like his abilities to like plan, like like a fight. Sure, whatever. Whatchamacallit, Aang. Not too many complaints on Aang. It's just more like
Aang's actor. Aang's actor was really good.
Yes, agreed. Yeah, he just, once again, he kind of just, but this is one of the things where he just like loses his charm, because instead of like the happy-go-lucky idiot we saw from season 1, we just have someone who's just like riddled with anxiety about being the Avatar. Like every episode, he's like, "Oh God, I gotta do this!" Like, I'm just like,
yeah. The show in general, the live action is not subtle at all with it, because the cartoon was way more subtle with Aang being, you know, nervous about being Avatar and stuff. In the live action, it's just like, you must be the Avatar, Aang. You must do it. You must save everyone.
But, yeah, like he's just like freaking out about it.
Which I don't blame him for, because every adult he runs into is like, "Why aren't you the Avatar yet?"
Yeah, it's true. Well, speaking of another character I have with, they like completely, and this pissed me off. I don't know, maybe because like, I don't know, I just found there's a charm to season 1. Damn it. And I feel like this,
but
they kind of
just can't replicate in live action.
You really can though, because they made a lot of decisions where they destroyed that charm. Like Aang's personality they could have made him happy-go-lucky and did the same shit in episodes. I'm sorry, that's not an excuse.
I don't think so. You can't put the whimsical, like, fun side episodes in, like...
No, you don't have to. You don't have to have the side episodes, but like those moments of levity. Those are moments make up the Avatar.
But they had moments of levity though. There were.
It's like what? It's like what? Like
and playing with Katara in the water and stuff. It's just not much because they have to get on with the plot. It was like moments here and there.
I don't know. It seems to be, for me, it's his moments of levity. While I agree there are some, it's deeply overshadowed by his anxiety to be the Avatar, because they keep rubbing it in our faces. Like we get it. He has to save the world. He's the Avatar. Like we do not. The whole U.S. does not have ADHD like that, or we need to be reminded every 5 seconds of the stakes of who he is and what he needs to do. I don't think it needs to be that serious to the point where he's like, Avatar, I must be Avatar, Avatar. Like, like I'm like, okay, we get it, Aang, we get it. Also, King Boomy, the fuck was up with that? Why is
King? Like, I will fight this. I love the change on King Boomy.
Nope.
It's realistic change. He's a 112-year-old dude who had to like fight in a 100-year-long war and shit. He's gonna be insane and depressed and probably suicidal and filled with PTSD. I actually always thought it was weird that he, like, in the cartoon where he was just like, "Oh, Aang, my best friend, yes," and didn't hold anything against him.
Because unlike this series, for whatever reason, and they immediately address why he was gone. He's like, "Oh yeah, I got lost in the storm and got frozen." He's
but it doesn't matter. You're still not there. It doesn't matter why you weren't there. It was your job to be there, and you weren't there. I mean, if I had to suffer 100 years of war and like thousands of my civilians are dead because of you, I don't care what your reasoning is.
Okay.
You would hold it against him.
Excuse me. Well, okay, I will say this, but if that is the case, then like, girl, pick one. Do not go from King Boomy to Avatar in literally 10 seconds, and the other 10 seconds you're like, "You left us all to die! You left us all to die!" Rock candy. Wait, like, don't do that. Pick one. Pick crazy. One. No, then if he was crazy in the original, and that was fine. Then
no, in the original he was goofy and whimsical. In this, he's legitimately like fucking crazy.
No, don't like it. Don't care for. I'm sorry. I'm team. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. They fixed it way too much, to the point where it lost what made season 1 season. Now, like I said, this is just like a Netflix show. Yet another Netflix show, which is it's a good Netflix show, but it's not a great show. It's a good show.
As far as adaptations go, this is up there with One Piece for me. Even though I didn't see one, but I think it's as good in terms of like being a successful adaptation. Like I feel like people were asking it to do things that it couldn't possibly do. Like, unless they gave the show like guaranteed 4 seasons, and each season was like 15 episodes, and then the show had like a $1 billion. Girl,
first of all, it's Netflix. They have money. That's number one. Number two, like, no, they didn't just.
But also, they aren't trying to make it a 1-for-1 retelling of the app. They're trying to actually actively change characters and settings and stuff.
But I feel like, first of all, the adaptation of One Piece was not aiming to do that.
One Piece was, it wasn't good.
Right, it still did the adaptation correct. Like, it was just good. It was just one to one, and it was solid.
But I don't want this to be 1-to-1 though. I like, if I want a 1-to-1 thing, I just go watch the original.
I mean, it's not going to.
Like, it's never going to be better than the original, so just why even bother? Just let it be its own thing. It's like, the original is the original, and this is the adaptation of that.
Then, girl, make a whole different series. Don't make this weird
but that's what
mishmash of. No, that is not what happened in One Piece. That's not what happened in One Piece.
I don't care about One Piece.
You brought it up, girl. No, it's there.
I'm saying even then, One Piece did change a few things. But
like what?
An adaptation is supposed to change things. I don't know. Go look up a list of things on Google. But the adaptations are supposed to change things to make things more more fitting for the different medium that it's in. I don't think you can
agree. I think there are some change, and I think there are some things that they change which need to be changed for it to fit the medium of live action. And then I just think all the personality changes, they just sucked the life out the show, and now it's just a Netflix show.
I disagree. I think the changes to King Boomy were good. Katara up in the air, but I think by the end of the series she's back where she needs to be. I think they did better with Sokka. Well, not better. They did as good with Sokka. What they did do better was with Zuko and Iroh, because they moved most of their development from like book 2 to book 1. And I like the addition of moving Azula up. So I think it's like a net balance. Like, yeah, you might have messed up 1 or 2 people or whatever, but in the long run, it's way better than I expected it to be.
It's man, I just think they changed a lot of things. In my mind, they changed a lot of things for, and it's not justified. The personality changes are not justified for the adaptation, in my opinion. They could have kept a lot of characters the same. Now, I know I'm saying the characters, not the stories. The stories are fun. Like, them changing that.
I don't think you could have kept King Boomy the same, because it would make no sense to the plot of the show if you. Because the show's a lot darker, so why would you have like a happy-go-lucky, like fun, crazy guy? Like he has to be everyone has to be more tonally dark in that sense. Like Ozai is darker; he's much more malicious in the show.
Ozai was never not malicious.
Yeah, but he was like malicious in the shadows. In the live action, he like literally just you see in every other episode, fucking like killing kids and shit.
Excuse me. I don't know. I think making it super. First of all, I think they made it darker because that's what Hollywood wanted. I
agree with that, but also I feel like a dark Avatar is dope. So I've always wanted a darker Avatar.
And bitch, watch Korra. They kill people all the time in Korra. Like, people die left, right, and center in Korra.
Korra has other issues.
It's still dark nonetheless. I don't know. I think Avatar had a dark season 1, obviously not so much, but then later on the series, like by the end of season 1, Aang straight up murks someone. Season 2, Aang gets murdered. Homegirl Katara literally almost is buried alive. Season 3, like everyone's almost always dead half the time.
Yeah, but in this one we actually saw like the Air Temple genocide. You see like people just get burned alive, and they like focus much more on like the war.
Yeah,
I guess that's my preference. I like that they focus a lot more on like the war and the things.
Yeah, but then they also removed like not key things, but like and this is what I mean when changes that didn't make as much sense. Like, for example, why? I guess I'm gonna find out when I finish the episode. But why did Katara and Sokka also go into the spirit world?
Well, you'll find out when.
I know. I think there's like, I think it was like their own development, which they also sandwiched the whole Sokka, his dad, and the trial thing, which to me that was kind of wild. To me, that is wild because it's like, oh, so this trial thing that didn't even happen yet. So in this universe, it actually happened. It happened in the past. It happened to, like, once again, I
like that though because it adds context to why Sokka's like so uptight about his image about being a leader and shit.
Yeah, but it's also not true. Well, it's also not true to original. That
yeah, but it's a change. Like there's other changes that they did that like are really good. I don't want to spoil.
it was just like I don't know why, because him meeting his dad and doing that whole trial was like so important. Like that was an important part to his character development, and now they're reducing it to a flashback, and instead of it, that flashback being the thing that empowered him, it's now.
But I think that's like
the trauma.
Twist. It's the trauma, yeah.
And instead of the thing that makes him develop and get better, it's the thing that traumatizes him, which is just like, okay, it's okay, sure, I guess. I don't, girl, I don't know. I just feel like we had multiple episodes and then could have just had his ass in the spirit realm by himself. Okay.
It would have been a wasted opportunity, and you would have nothing to do with Katara and Sokka. They would have been like sitting there. But that's what I mean. Like they don't have the time to do all this stuff that you want them.
They could have They could have done the other episodes.
What other episodes? What are Sokka and Katara gonna do while Aang is in the spirit realm?
I don't know. Focus on Zuko and the other 5,000 characters they just crammed in there. There's enough where they
complaining about that. Like, oh, why are they focusing on Zuko? Like,
no, because
they don't have the time to do all this. Like, yes, the original series had the time to just be.
No, I'm saying literally. No, it's still for the time constraints. Literally have Aang do his whole "oh my god, I'm in the spirit world" thing, but also pan to Zuko which would probably be like another episode crammed in there. And then like another character crammed in there, and then just shift back.
Or they could just have the two Sokka and Katara go into the spirit world and do their thing there. Like it doesn't either way. You're making substantial changes to move things around. So why not just do one over the other?
Because the other ones are just plots from the other ones that are just happen to be crammed into one episode, as opposed to let's just make shit up from nothing. What?
No, they're not making shit up from nothing, except for the Sokka. They just inverted the Sokka story.
Hold on, I need water. Sorry.
I think the degree to which you like the show is going to be determined by how much creative license you want to give the creators. I gave them unlimited creative license. If they did a whole, like, if Aang died in episode 2 or whatever, and then like Katara or Korra came out, I would have been like, let's see where this is going. So I gave them a like long rope of creative license to use. So I don't mind all the changes as long as they're good changes. But if you're gonna go in and be like, I want to see how close and faithful this is to the original, you ain't gonna like it. Because it isn't really like it's close in that the story's the same, but the character development is really jumbled around, and a lot of the characters
the main story is the same. Yeah. Everything else is different, but the main story is the same. Everything else, literally, one would say everything that makes Avatar and the characters good, they're changed completely.
I still think all the characters are good though, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, with the exception of Katara, I agree. Do I think it's as good as the original? No, but it's
as good as the original. So I'm not holding it to that standard.
Oh wait, what'd you say? Sorry,
I said it'll never be as good as the original, so I'm not even holding.
I feel like it could have been closer to as good, but they said no, we won't do that either. We'll just take everyone's development and plot points and just jumble it around to make it emo Avatar series, and I'm just like, oh, that's so great. I love.
I'm not gonna call it.
I definitely.
I think it's good. The Avatar is always.
It is evil, girl. How many times do I have to sit through? How many times do I have to watch Katara watching her fire get lit ablaze? How many times did I watch this? How many? That's what I mean. I'm just like, I've seen this one character in 1,000 different shows, but I've only seen one.
The original too. Like the original was.
Nah, they just say
it had more time to be subtle and like
right, but now it's all just gonna be like,
now it's more focused on the dark elements of the show.
Right, but that build up to the darkness is what made Avatar good. Now it's just now
But
we're
they don't
just
have time to
here.
build up to the darkness. That's the point I'm trying to say. They only have 8 episodes, and there's a lot of
No,
plot to
because
get through.
well, now they don't have because they are introducing more points where, like you said, because it's dark. Now we're emphasizing and putting in new scenes where we're showing Azula being like, "Man, I must kill everyone," and we're showing the Fire Nation. Let's burn up the Air Nation. Which I'm not saying those are bad changes, but it's like like I don't know. This was the thing I feared. It was like it's gonna be dark, it's gonna be gritty, and it's like, man, I feel like they're gonna be dark, but I hope they don't like, I don't know, gut or tweak the characters to the point where sometimes they're borderline unrecognizable, and they just there's a lot of them. They just kind of feel like, okay, not shells of their former selves, because it's like not shells. I don't, because that's too harsh. That's too harsh. But it's like, it's like 80. It's like 80% is there, and I don't like the 20% they put in some of these characters. I don't like the 20% they put in Aang. I don't like this new 20% they put Katara. Obviously don't like the new 20% they put in Bloomy.
I will say this: if you are, first of all, if you're somebody who's watching this podcast, chances are you're gonna hate the live action because you watched the original and you just don't. But not everyone. If you are someone who hasn't watched the original, I think this show stands on its own, and I think
I agree that I agree on. It is just it's a good, solid Netflix show.
Yeah, it's a good Netflix show.
It's a good.
I would say if you're someone who's like, and I think this is who they aimed it at. Like, if you're like a working person with a full time job, or like in your mid 30s or 40s or whatever, and you don't have time to watch like a 4-season, 80-episode cartoon, and you just want to see what the Avatar is about because you heard about it, you could watch this and like binge it in a weekend or like in a day, and then be like, "Oh, it was a good show. Maybe I should check out the cartoon." Or,
funny enough, you said was 8 episodes.
8 episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean for the original series?
No, for this. It's episodes. Like 8 episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I will say that it's not. It's a little longer. I say it's a little longer than I give it credit for, because remember, each episode is an hour long.
Yeah, it's like an hour long.
So I think that doesn't, that equals out to like maybe what, 16 episodes compared to the Avatar 24.
Yeah, about.
So
keep in mind the Avatar, because each episode is like 20 minutes. They have time to like every episode be in a different location and different places and doing different things.
I don't know. I just think in making these dark changes because they want to be more Hollywood. I'm sorry, no one else can tell me otherwise. That they're just like, we want a live adaptation. We have to sell it to the studio. We have to make it grittier because the executives are gonna hate like proper character development and world building. So we're gonna give this instead. But no, it is fine.
It's just not as good as the cartoon because it can't be, because it doesn't have the ability to be.
I would
say that regardless of if this was Hollywood or not. Like, I don't think you can make it as good as the cartoon in live action. I just don't. Unless you have like some unlimited budget or something.
I don't know. I think there was a way to keep the characters mostly the same, but also condensing the content. That's me personally. I feel like they could have.
I feel like
they just want the Cell version where they're just like, ugh, it's firebenders. You should just watch people get lit on fire all the time.
I think it will get better in subsequent seasons, because the subsequent seasons of Avatar are much more like plot focused and direct, and they usually don't like explore as much. So I think it'll lend itself better to like being adapted when they have to like when the whole second season's just in Bossing Say or whatever.
Yeah, and they already like. First of all, I'm like, they got me fucked up with the little soldier boy instrumental song when they were talked about Iroh and his son. I was like, oh, like, oh, sneaky. But yeah, like I know I'm saying all of this, even though I'm saying all my critiques, I still say this show. I still would recommend people watch this show. I would say yes. Do not expect a 1-to-1 bending. In terms of story and bending, even though I could see the attempt of them in most parts, except for the Boomy fight. That also annoyed me a little bit, because it's like they did it in a way that it wasn't like even like. This feels like y'all really didn't know a way to execute the whole Boomy dropping a rock on Aang and how Aang got out of that. And that disappointed me because that was one of the cooler parts of season 1, in my opinion. I would say so because I still remember how Aang got around it. So instead, you just said, I lift rock with air, which I'm like, that's not...
was more to like illustrate the lesson of... It was one of the more boring fights, I'll agree.
Even though it was awesome in the original. And that's one of the things where I'm just like...
But that's my point. If you're just going to be like in the original, then you're not going
to... No, because every other fight was pretty badass. That's my problem. That's why I'm pissed off at that. Most of the other fights, I can't... No complaints on. Especially when they show the firebending, like... Especially with the firebending and the earthbending. Dope as shit. And then we just have him blow air on rocks, which was like... I'm like, you would... This doesn't even... I don't know. This makes it seem like airbending is like buku broken crazy, because now you can just lift a ton of rock, excuse me. So yeah, I don't even know why they did that. So I'm just like, oh, girl, and it's like you could. I feel like there a way you could have CGI'd him. You know, do you remember how he holds up the rock?
Vaguely, I think.
Yeah, he basically runs and makes a tornado to lift up the rock. Which, by the way, they definitely could have done that. Exactly. That's why I'm mad. You could have done that instead. You're like, we're gonna do this whole stupid. I'm trying to teach you a lesson. Yes, and it wasn't, and it was lame as a result because. I'm sorry. Compared to the original, it just was, and that has nothing to do with whether it's adapted or not. That was just a bad creative choice.
As a fight, it was lame. I think it was good as a storytelling device for me.
I guess. ... Yeah, like I said, the overall, like I said, this show, it's I'm calling it emo Avatar. It's emo, essentially just emo Avatar, because if you want emo Avatar where they're burning people alive and everyone's sad about their trauma over the 100...
The darkness.
Yes, yeah, we're just season... Yeah, so season... If you want the season...
You know, if the new animated Avatar comes out by the creators and it's darker and they're like burn people alive, I'm gonna hold you to
Wait, what do you mean?
They're coming out with a new animated series.
Okay, but that's that story, not this story. That's this story. That's a whole new story. That's a whole new story. I don't... This is emo. The only time I'm saying this is the emo version of the Avatar. As in implying this is a version of an already good, fantastic, solid series, and now we're just making it emo. Because
you're implying that violence is emo, so I'm holding that statement.
No, not at all. There's plenty of violence in the original Avatar. They're just exemplifying it. So to really press upon how sad and distraught everything is, even though everything already was sad and distraught in the original. But they said let's watch people burn and shit. So if you want to see that, if you want to see Katara be traumatized watching her mom get burned alive, and Aang, I literally looking like he needs to be on medication every other scene. But also great fighting, and at least they're keeping the references. They're doing whatever the fuck they want to do with the references in Avatar, but at least they're keeping it in. So you're right. Cabbage's guy is there. The owl from season 2 is there.
The band that plays the secret tunnel.
And it's the secret tunnel people. I wonder if they're gonna do the library episode. Are they gonna do the library episode?
No, it's clear that they're fans of the series. I feel like they're gonna keep all the fun shit in. Like, I would love to see them do. You know the episode where Sokka and Momo get stuck in the desert, and Sokka's like hallucinates all over the place. Is that also the library episode?
I think it's like around that, like that library. Yeah, it's like part of it. Like I think it's before they find. Yeah. No. They already have Toph at this point. It's before they find the library, where he's like doing all that stuff, and like I feel like they have to.
They should keep it, especially if they like put the owl in already.
Yeah. Once again, don't know why he had to be there, but it just got like what I'm just confused at some of the choices. As like, why was this owl introduced?
I think they just like the owl, and they wanted them to be like a reference to something that happened.
Right. It's like, I don't know. I feel like it did. This series is kind of doing what Korra did. What happened to Korra, where they're like, shit, we don't know if we're ever getting another season, so we better do all this shit in there and hope and just pray we get another season. But high key though, like this is the live. Like if you, I feel like Oni, can you at least agree? Even if they kept it like to the original, even if they did, if they kept it more to original, and I guess they just, I don't know, cut certain parts off. I feel like it was still getting a season 2, as long as, especially with this level of quality of animation, it still would have gotten a season 2. So I don't
bomb, substantially.
Dude, yeah, like unless it's something like, I don't know, cast fucking Kevin Hart as Aang or some shit.
You telling me on the Avatar? No, I mean, that's not that far off. He's in Borderlands,
I know, that's exactly why I brought him up, which is why I had...
Which is a good note to end on. It could have been Borderlands.
It could have been Borderlands. So, yeah. Once again, everyone go watch that. Let us know what you think of it. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I think that's the end of our very long.
That's the end of our podcast,
right? That was a very long fill-out arc. I in my mind, I thought you would not have watched it, and it was just gonna be me quickly talking about it for like 10-ish minutes, and then it would have been that. But I guess that was not the case. So yeah, I'm excited to watch the rest of it. I will say though, because of the changes, me watching it kind of feels like I feel like I'm like slogging through it a little bit. Like I'm not marathoning it like I normally do, because I'm just like, let's watch Katara's mom get burned up again. Let's watch those again.
If they come out with a season 2, are you watching it?
Yeah, I have to see how they're gonna dig themselves out of these holes. How much are they just gonna shift and move everything to make everything work?
To maybe motivate you, there is a very different ending to the season compared to the original cartoon, which makes it intriguing for season 2.
Okay, I am excited. All right, now that we are done with our filler arc, it's time for our weekly reviews. That's right. We still have the rest of the pod.
Don't worry,
Pass.
we don't have solo leveling. So
Right, exactly. Oh yeah, thank God
you know
for
how
that.
long we always talk about solo leveling.
That is true. So we're just gonna move right on ahead to Dungeon Meshi episode 8.
Martial episode.
I know. I kind of like. I kind of really like this. To the point where I'm just like, is it an episode of the week? I don't know.
It's not for me, but I did really enjoy it.
I did really enjoy it. Yeah, we got to see a lot of her past, and she's definitely She's a little different compared to her younger self, but not different enough that it's like day and night. She was like, "Oh yeah, I was talented. I was #1 in my class." And I love how Cho-Chuck does not believe her.
Yeah, you were not that smart.
That is funny. And talked about she wants to like create a dungeon so that she can come up with different ways to, take out a mandrake. Which I like that because that loops back to the mandrake episode with her. Wait, was she the one that came up with like? No, she tried doing things by the book, right?
Yeah, and then she tried to use a fucking bat to bring it out.
Yeah. Excuse me. Yeah, and it was cute watching her interact with Laos's sister. So I was like,
she finally got screen time.
I was like, huh, that girl looks kind of familiar. Oh, but then that fight with Undine, that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, Marcel got fucked up.
She kind of did. Like that was pretty. I was kind of scared for her. But really good animation. Just from like her dodging, her blowing shit up, them running away. And then of course when they had the scene where they cooked up the rest of the Kelpie. I'm like, I keep forgetting the name of that damn water horse. And they kept eating all the good parts, kept giving her the liver. Oh my god, yeah, that would piss me off too. I would like, honestly, fuck my life. Give me the other pieces, because I hate liver.
Same. I don't think. Well, no, my mom loves liver.
Yeah, my mom.
But
loves
I think
liver
anyone
too.
would also love the other parts more.
No, my mom also loves liver. I like the liver gravy, but other than that, like I can't. Once again, cannot stress. I feel like, have you ever had liver gravy? Do you know what I'm talking about, or is it just me?
No, I've had liver gravy. It's good.
Right? Like, how is it so different from the meat? Like, it's like,
because you don't get the chalkiness of the meat.
No, but like, there's no flavor to the meat. There's barely any flavor. It's just sadness and chalk, like in every bite. And then the liver juice is like, this is like, I don't know. Liver gravy is like,
liver was always intended to be a juice, maybe, I guess. Never eaten.
Hot take, liver gravy might be top 5 gravies. Like natural secreted gravies. It just might be top 5. That's just me. But yeah. So the episode ends with her old teammate in her new party being like, who the fuck would be cooking out here? These dumb fuckers would do that. And she's about to find out.
Yeah, I hope they throw hands.
I hope they don't.
Well, I hope Martial recovers and then they throw hands.
I do. We'll see. Also, I like that part where Marcial and and Senshi were going back and forth. I forget what it was about. I think she was like asking about something or about making something. And then he was like, no, I don't want. Oh, right. Like, she was like, you shouldn't stay here because clearly, like, a very bad magical person, a bad magical energy is here. It's really dangerous for you to be here. He's like, no. And she's like, but you don't even like magic. And then he's like, I can't hear you. And I'm just like, this woman, Senshi's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yep. That is basically what happened on Dungeon Meshi. Alright, up next we have Cherry Magic episode 7. Yeah, 7. So they go on their first date. And Kurosawa bursting out into song, especially in his mind, and Adachi just looking at him like, girl, what? That was so funny. That was so funny. By the way, question. I want to hear your thoughts. Is like, is going on like shopping for clothing? Is that really considered a date? Is that really considered a date? Or are we just clothes shopping?
No, it could be a date.
I don't know. I don't think
I would say don't ever take anyone on a helicopter ride on the first date. That's trying way too hard.
No, and don't ever take me clothing shopping on a first date.
Anything could be a first date. Coffee could be a first date.
Yes, I'd rather drink coffee, even though it's gonna make me shit and make me look like a crackhead later. I will take the coffee over clothes shopping. Like I feel like in my mind that's a date. That's like a date you do. That's like a date you do when you're already in a relationship. Then I feel like that's an appropriate date.
I mean, I wouldn't do it for a first date, but it's a date I would do.
I'm not doing that as a date until you're like my actual boyfriend. Like outside of that, no. And if they
know each other's taste in clothes anyway,
I just wouldn't want. Like, I don't like clothing for shopping is not like. That's not like a leisure thing. That's not what I do for fun. I do that because I need new clothes. This is not a fun thing for me. And even if it was, I wouldn't bring my date. I wouldn't bring a date to clothes shop because
the idea is that you're supposed to be like fun and like it's like playing dress up and ooh, do I look sexy in this? Ooh, type of thing. But it feels like a lot of work.
You're not doing all that on your first date.
Well, yeah, so I said it's a date for later.
Yeah, that was like, oh my god. I can't even say. So I've been out with like my boyfriend to shop for clothes, but I wouldn't call that a date. That's just me. That's just us meeting up in the city so I can go get some clothes, and then I don't know, maybe we like stop at a Starbucks or something before going back to his place. Like like that in my mind, that's not. This is a date. But I guess that. Oh my god! Also, that price tag. Like, I was like $200 for that coat. I mean, that's not like. That's a little more expensive. That's not insane. But that is a little more expensive for a coat that, in my mind, looked that small or thin. I guess I was like 200. I was like, oh, 200 is a lot.
So much money.
Yeah, and I paid 140 or 150 for my coat. But like, it's the Uniqlo one, the one that like keeps me warm forever. So in my mind, like, I pay the extra for that. Meanwhile, at Marshall's, there's like coats for like under 100.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Like you said, that helicopter ride was kind of crazy. Definitely not doing that. Kurosawa at the office the next day was pretty funny. Like after he feels so dejected from the date,
Mm-hmm.
he's about to like just see all the darkness around him. That was funny. And then, yeah, their actual, in my mind, what a date is. them going, I'm going to. I was gonna say Kinokuniya.
Yes, I'm going to Kinokuniya in Times Square.
Kinokuniya and it. Oh fuck, what is it called? The Isayaki. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that's a date. That's
a more standard first date.
Right. That's the date I want. Not Dachi coming up with the better date. and his rationale was like, let's just do things we both like to do. Like, shout out to Dachi for like getting it. Oh, and then Adachi almost getting caught because he responded to Kurosawa's thoughts.
Yeah, that was that was funny.
Yeah, that was funny.
I'm surprised he hasn't done that earlier.
Same, honestly. It'd be cool. It'd be interesting to see if he. Well, I feel like it's gonna happen. He's gonna talk about his powers. I wonder if he's gonna talk about like. I don't know. I wonder if they're gonna fuck, and then he says after they're gone, he's like, "Well, I'm not a virgin anymore. There's something you should know."
What if he loses his powers when he fucks? So he has to like try to outweigh whether he wants to have sex or keep his powers.
I feel like he doesn't want the powers anymore. I feel like he's very much established that he does not want these powers. But yeah, it was a cute episode. I enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Up next we have Mahou Shoujo ni Akagarete, episode 8.
Yes. This one's better.
I mean, yeah, I guess I can see why for you.
Yeah, we're finally getting to the meat of the plot with the reveal of the other magical girls or the other villains.
Yes.
Or actual villains actually killing magical girls.
Yep. And then and then Vina's like, "You're not ready." And then she's like, "Girl, I'm gonna do whatever I want." So it was just such a subtle like a subtle line was crossed. Like it wasn't like, haha, now here's where I blow you up because I'm switching sides and doing what I want. She like right there and then she's like, oh well then you can fuck off.
Yeah, you go do your own thing.
She's like, I don't care. She's like, I don't care if you think I'm not ready. I'm gonna do it. Which makes me wonder about Vina's motivations.
Right. I think even, it kind of touches on it. He's clearly just like using her for something.
Oh yeah, agreed.
Some greater plan, but she's like, whatever. I hate Lord and the whole Lord squad. So
yeah, I'm gonna fight them anyways.
I'm gonna fight them anyway. I don't care if it benefits you.
Exactly. Yeah, and I love that scene, and which they already point out. I mean, I kind of guessed it. The stars,
right? Yeah, the stars
being to their power level. Yep.
And Utena has a lot of stars. At least when she gets like a dark power up.
Yes, after they get kicked out, and she just goes crazy just a little bit.
Yeah, her crazy face. She has like, I think she has 2 in her eye. Like her actual pupils are stars. And then she has like 4 or 5 on her cheek. So
yeah, like they kind of just start exploding on her face. Like,
yeah, they busting out like pimples or something, like acne.
right, she looked like she just like visited a tattoo parlor by a Fordham or some shit.
We also got a fair bit of Kiwi this episode, getting fucking rocked by Loco.
But she was really, yeah, he was really funny this episode. She was so chaotic. When shit, what's her name? What's her name? Alice. Yeah.
Yeah.
When I was trying to convince her not to fight, and then she kind of just threw her doll up somewhere. She couldn't reach it. She's like, Kiwi's gonna do what she wants. I was like, there you go. Good for you. You may be the weakest of the magical girls, but you're the most fun one.
Yes, you have the most sass.
Right, and that's important.
I like that we got a whole ass karaoke. Horrible karaoke.
Oh my god, that was so funny. Just seeing their reactions was so funny.
I always had a couple of great reaction faces this episode.
She really did. Like her giving up the thumbs up when she saves Kiwi. Obviously, her and Kiwi looking at local musical when she sings. And then Kiwi just dragging her after the song. She's like, nope, the lyrics are lame. You're singing so fucking bad. I hated everything. And then she just started crying and kind of just went berserk.
I feel bad for her, especially at the end. She got kind of wrecked.
Yeah, that was kind of crazy. I mean, I don't feel bad for her because she literally picked the fight for no reason. Like, literally zero reason to fight the girls except she wanted to feel like she was that bitch. And yeah.
Was it worth it?
Yeah, she found out she is that bitch. She is, she's Enorma's bitch. But yeah, it was good. I did like the character building between Kiwi and Alice this episode.
Yeah.
You know, it showed that they can still like be good and funny even without Lieutenant being there.
Exactly.
All right. Up next we have Ishura, episode 8. Wow.
Oh, rest in peace, Akagarete.
Yeah, I did not expect him to just die like that.
I didn't expect him to die yet, but I figured he'd be one of the first ones dead because he's like the most factoring person. Like he didn't have that much of a backstory or anything.
Yeah,
he wasn't that important to the plot.
He wasn't, but I was like, damn. I was hoping he would have gone out like in like a fight. No, he just got murked by the angel.
Yeah, he got wrecked.
Yep, and then we get to see truly that Kia's abilities are literally exactly as apeshit broken as we think.
Yeah, just leave me alone.
And she's like, yeah, no one harm us. And he's like, here's poison. Why are you getting poison? And she's like, I said, prevent anything from harming me. Harming us.
I need to say it again.
Right. Like, did you not hear me the first time, stupid? And that wouldn't have been enough to kill him. I was thinking, at first I was like, oh my god, like, did the poison, like, like, did somehow the poison's being turned against him because that's the thing that's trying to kill her and it's running through his veins? Like, that was happening. But nah, the poison was just around the priest, and the angel was like, nope, whoever's doing that, you gotta die. Yeah, but unfortunately, Lana knows that Elia is definitely trying to kill her. Shout out to Lana for not being stupid.
Yeah, she's like, wait a second.
Right. She's like, huh? Do you know I'm here? Like, you shouldn't be able to track me here.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh my god, that's the world's person. But you didn't tell me about her. Because you found her and you don't want me to know, so you're here to kill me. Yeah, she
Yeah.
pieced it together.
She put 2 plus 2 plus 2 together and was like, I'm out.
Exactly.
Thanks for saving me. Bye.
Dipped. I mean, I don't know how she escaped the poison. Maybe she just left. Maybe she just
I think
dead
she
out
just
left.
out.
I think
She just left.
yeah, she just dipped before the poison, which honestly work.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be something. So yeah, and then we're just I don't know. I just want to see Kia just be broken and maybe kind of fight other people and see what that looks
Mm-hmm.
like. Oh, and then what do you think of Alice fighting the wyverns?
Um, that was alright.
Yeah, it was,
That
that's all
wasn't
right.
That's alright.
Yeah, didn't he have like some kind of like chain whip or some shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I will say like once again, pretty decent for CGI.
Yeah, the CGI is. I'm actually surprised by how stable the CGI is in the show. I was expecting it to have like a like big drop off or something, but it's actually been pretty consistent.
Yeah. So I was waiting for it to suffer in the sky fights, considering it's just them zipping around. But no, it's pretty good. All right. Up next, we have Sousou no Frieren, episode 24. Um, which is my episode of the week.
Understandable.
Yeah, it's just the War of the Clones, Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones. Fuck, I should write that's the episode title.
Mm-hmm. I feel like you definitely used that title before.
Have we? Well, we're using
Probably.
it again.
Yeah. I'm not saying don't use it. I'm just saying feels like we did use something. We use something with the word clone in it for sure. In my mind. Um
I'm looking it up, by the way.
Not what whether we use clone.
He has used clone before.
Oh my god. So yeah, it's the Battle of the Clones. I actually liked the fact that there somewhere in there was a Sense's clone. Sensei clone. Yeah, Sensei's clone. I'm trying not to say Sensei, but y'all know what I mean. Which is
Which is OP. That's
yeah,
not fair.
very very OP. And I like kind of like that girl who was giving all that exposition. And like it's one of those things where it's just like,
The
yeah.
one that got fucked up.
And one guy going fucked up, and I was so sad. I'm like, no, now she's gone. Like I actually liked her. The other two kind of just didn't. Were just there, and she kind of gave like very cool, like calm, collected analysis of what was happening and how and
Really
what the
cute,
magics work. Wait, what'd you say?
It was really cute too, but you know.
I knew. I was
All
like,
the cute girls need to lose the fucking challenge, I guess. This is the second
I
cute girl who.
mean, she, the lolly lost to the lolly.
True. Lolly
Like,
on lolly violence is not a good.
not a good thing. Um, and then the fight with Ubel's clone was pretty cool. Very well executed and animated. Um, the whole thing with her and God, I forgot his name was. I literally called him Megane. I don't know what. I don't remember what his real name is, but I like their back and forth. Let me see if I can find it real quick. What his name is?
Yeah, they have a whole thing going on. It's really cute.
They do, right. Land. Okay, his name is Lando. Yeah. Yeah, Uwe and Lando, they definitely have a thing, and it's really, yeah. It's like it's one of those things where it was like her just. It's one of those things where I still can't tell if she wants to fuck him or kill him. But now it's leaning more towards fuck than kill. Before it was definitely giving 90% kill, 10% fuck. So yeah.
It's literally the I can fix her thing. Like he's gonna.
He does not want to fix her. He just wants her to go away. That ancient Muriel was pretty sweet that they found.
Yeah. Frieren's pro dungeon skills.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, now that the part where she reunite Frieren's party reunites with Denkin's party. And they're like, yeah, there's a Frieren copy in there. What are we gonna do? And the part where Miss Ada tries to test her ability to restrain or hypnotize Frieren doesn't work. And then she like hugs her, and then Frieren hugs her back, and she's like, so warm.
Yeah, Frieren's like, oh, this is comfortable.
That was really funny.
Super jealous. Fern was super adorable.
Say that again?
Having Fern get super jealous was adorable.
Yeah, that was really cute. Yes, Methode, Miss Ada. But yeah, but then Fern out of nowhere is just like, yeah, I think I can win.
I think I can solo Frieren. Don't worry about it. I got
and
this.
I'm just like, oh, okay.
I'd win.
I was like, oh, okay.
So, I honestly think, and this is my prediction, they just throw a mimic in there. If it has Frieren's personality or whatever,
right? That would be great, but I don't know. I feel like that's such like a joke fight.
It's gonna have to be a joke. Somebody in a solo fish Fern gonna actually beat Frieren.
I don't know. This show always has a way of surprising us.
That's true.
We'll see. Alright, last but not least, we have Apothecary Diaries, episode 20. So yeah, a lot of things we learn. One, the fact that the eunuchs, they are not eunuchs by in the physical sense. They're eunuchs via chemical alteration. Which we find out as Jinshi and Gaoshun are drinking their I don't know, dick me not potions, like
magical dick erasing potion.
Yeah, he reveals, he's like, oh yeah, like I have kids and I have a grandkid. And he's like, what about your oldest son? Oh, you mean Basin? I was just like, that's your kid? Like, damn, like it's weird because it's like you are so cool with Mao Mao and he hates Mao Mao's guts. Like
yeah.
So that was very surprising because they're not similar at all. But I guess he is 19, just like Jinshi, even though apparently Jinshi is masquerading as a 24-year-old. Which just raises more questions. It's like, wow, now they're making you older too, like older and a eunuch, like for what?
We need to change your whole identity. You're a eunuch. You're 5 years older. all this stuff.
Right. Like what is going on? when you said that you were like, you're eunuch, you're 5 years older, you're black, like
Yeah,
you're Rachel Dozal. uh and yeah, it looks like Sweden was dead for all of 5 seconds. And they found out that she was connected to all these incidences. And then they were like, JK. She actually escaped using some drug that fakes your death.
I'm actually mad at that because it would have been more interesting if she actually was like murdered or something and it was all part of the plot.
I understand. I kind of get that on one hand, but on the other hand, I like her character too much, and I'm just like, it would. I feel like it would have been a waste if she just died like
probably.
this. Like she didn't really have much. Like she had some of an impact. Like and she had enough to make me want more of her. So I'm glad she's not dead. And yeah, Mahou like is obsessed with her. She did. I love. She literally did the whole crazy evil laugh out loud in front of them, and then they're just like,
You okay? And she's like, no, my leg is still bleeding, by the way. Reopen my wound.
Yeah, and then so it's just like and we learned that literally just like everything was connected. They once again show like the metalwork. Did they show the metalworker being connected last episode?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I think that was like new. Even the
new.
The metalworker was connected as to how this could have happened,
which makes sense. I'm like, oh, that is kind of smart.
A very smart murder plot, indeed. Let's see. Oh yeah, and then she's moving back to the rear place for I guess the last couple of episodes to take care of Gyukokyu or Gyukokyu, who might be pregnant.
Again.
Again. Might be pregnant again. It was nice to see that random scene of like the emperor being like loving on his love child. Would fairly like significantly like was there a time why did there a time skip? Because I'm like, or is that like another child that he also had with her? I'm assuming the answer is no because I feel like we would have met them. But yeah, did she not seem incredibly aged up to you, or is it just me?
I didn't notice it, so maybe it was either me not paying attention too much or you noticing or over noticing.
Because it's like the baby, like the baby looked like she was 2 years old.
Well, I don't know the difference between a 2-year-old and a infant. So.
Oh, one looks like a 2-year-old and one looks like an infant.
Babies, anything that's under 3 feet, same.
But yeah, but that was a nice scene where he's like playing with his daughter, his concubine daughter, and then they also explained very briefly how like, yeah, once again the old emperor was a bit of a lolicon. And you know he apparently had the emperor was born, or no, where was the first son was born when the empress was a child. Yeah, the first son, whoever that is, which we don't know either.
I love having to decipher family trees.
Yep. Yeah, it's something that I'm not gonna lie, it hurts my head. And also confused as to why. Because once again, if Homeboy is if Jinshi is right, never. Oh no, never mind. I answered my own question. They're like, oh, that's just Lady Duo's child, and why is he being taken care of like this? And I'm like, right, father is actually still the emperor. Is it this emperor? It's this emperor, or is it the? Yeah.
This.
Okay, I have to make sure.
I think.
I have to
I
make
have,
sure.
to, I have to review my notes on the families.
Right, it's very confusing.
Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, great episode. Looking forward to how this whole season. I want to see it all. I'm also happy to see that she's back in the rare place because I kind of like that setting.
Yeah,
I think I like it a little more than outside.
Because
yeah,
there's a lot more interesting characters.
Agreed. Okay, well, we made it. Huzzah! We
survived.
We made it to the end of the weekly reviews, which means we are done with this podcast. So Oni, please take us away.
Guys, if you enjoyed this week's episode of the Waifu World Podcast, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to catch every episode as they go every week. If you haven't already, do follow us over on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, and join the party over on Discord, all linked in the description down below. If you'd like, you can even join us for our weekly live watches, which we do with patrons and channel members. We're going to be watching Frieren and Solo Leveling this season. So if that sounds interesting to you, you know what to do. And Drew, you have anything you'd like to say?
Justice for Kotara's character development.
Justice for, I don't know, Zuko. Until next time, this has been Sobroni and
Juvidu.
We'll catch you later. Later.
Bye.